see. All right, save that right there. That makes me want to vomit. I can't even look at that shit. That off. Check. All right, are we here? All right, let's see. All right, how y'all doing out there? Oh my God. I cannot tell you how fucking sick I am right now. I am like, I think I might have had COVID for like 2 weeks. I think that's possible. My wife and kids got sick. They say they're over this. But then yesterday I'm hearing them cough again. I think it's coming back in to get them. Past couple days, I want to say I think it started devolving like on Tuesday or something. Did I say Thursday? Yeah, I think like Tuesday it started getting bad. Like Monday it was bad. Let's go for even farther back. I think Saturday I was drinking champagne and eating oysters. And I ordered a tuna for dinner, like the entree. I took one bite of the tuna and I spit it out. I like started chewing on it and I was like, this is gross. I'm like, I thought it was just too thick. Like they cut it. So if you're going to cut tuna or anything like meat, it should be cut for you to eat. And I was like, well, let me move this over here. So I was like, whatever. So I was like, this tuna's gross. Like I shoot it and I spit it out of my plate. I never do that. And so I did. And I was angry because I was like, if you go to a restaurant and they cut the food, like steak or meat or anything, it should be for you to eat, in my view and in my training. You eat it. I find oftentimes that's not the case anymore. And I had an experience recently like that where it was like a steak that was not allowed to rest. So it was very tight, and it was like medium rare. Anyways, this is like really small, particular kind of stuff. But I spit this tuna out, and the guy thought that I didn't like the food, and I was like, no, it's me, it's not the food. And then I thought it was maybe the oysters that I ate on Saturday. Maybe that made me sick on Monday. And then by like Tuesday, I started evolving pretty bad. Wednesday, yesterday, or I think Tuesday into Wednesday, I like crawled into a corner, rolled myself up a bunch of blankets and stuff, and kicked my wife out of the bedroom. And just leave me alone. Very sick. And I've had COVID before, not sick at all. I haven't lost my taste. I haven't lost smell or anything. but this one's been vicious, like razor blades in my throat. No temperature, but feel like I have temperature. It's like hot and cold sweats, all that kind of stuff. It's been brutal. In and out of sleep. Sleeping like, fucking sleep like hour and a half, 2 hours, and up for an hour, then back out sleeping again, and can't gain any strength to do anything. So I think on Tuesday or Wednesday I bought the dip. I closed it the next day in the open because I'm so sick. Slept through Wednesday, and then I was feeling somewhat better last night. And then I devolved overnight, started feeling like shit all night long. And this morning I woke up to go to the bathroom, of course, and I couldn't walk. That's how bad I was. I'm doing the O2 sensor and all that kind of stuff. I'm pounding NyQuil and all the other stupid shit. Like the NyQuil's got acetaminophen, so I'm taking ibuprofen alongside it and aspirin and stuff. And but I haven't been to the hospital. None of that shit. I got a funny story for you guys. So I was like, my throat's really bad. I'm gonna make myself a chai tea. I don't know if you can see it here. Hold on. Oh, I skimmed some of it out. So like, the fucking milk curdled, and I'm like, I can't drink that. I'm gonna start throwing up everywhere. This is the homemade chai, right? It's not like the packaged stuff. I'm gonna do it with like spices and whole cinnamon, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I did pour myself a bourbon. I haven't had bourbon or anything. I haven't had anything to drink, but I did pour myself one. Maybe that'll get me through this. So I'm very sick. I just need you to know how sick I am. I'm like fucking bad. My brain feels fine. I haven't lost any of my acumen. A little slow, but I haven't, like, everything is okay. I might lose my voice, but I want to check in with you guys and talk to you guys about a few things. So I put a small post out this morning about where we are. I want to lend some context to it, if I can, with you guys. So first thing I want to read to you guys is this. JPM today came out and said, at 10 a.m. this morning, they came out and said, the last two sessions we have seen SPX fall later in the session alongside higher bond yields. This has led to client conversations questioning whether we are seeing some later than expected negative seasonality, and or if this is an early start on the period end rebalancing, which is thought to see a selling of equities and a buying of bonds. Given the lighter high touch volumes, it feels a bit like investors are waiting to see if there is a vol spike into month end, with some indicating that they will wait for volumes to pick up before executing portfolio changes. In some cases, rebalancings occur 2 to 3 days before the period ends, which would be Friday through Monday. Could we be setting up for a 1 to 2% downdraft? Maybe. The SPX has seen 2 days since May 1st where the index lost at least 1.5%, highlighting the strength of the dip buyers. In any case, the near-term setup remains bullish. We would buy any weakness. Also, keep an eye on emerging market equities. So I think this is probably the best encapsulation of where we are. And there's three key components here. First one would be that spot up, vol up, whether the market continues higher or not, and the end result of that, right? I think I addressed that on Twitter the other day. The second one would be the rebalancing. And then you also have the role that comes into play on quarter end. Now, you'll never hear like CNBC, Bloomberg, anyone really talk about Vixpiration, quarterly Vixpiration, monthly OPEXs, quarterly OPEXs. You even hear about it less during midweek or end of week. Wednesdays are a big OPEX day too for intra-week stuff, and the end of week is as well. Now, of course, they get really big when we get into quarter ends, 6 months, and to some extent end of year, right? When you have an outlook for the next year, what your plan is for the new upcoming year. So what I want to draw your attention to is this thing that I keep going over with you guys. Excuse me here. I want to go back to this time period in here Go back to a 4-hour here really quick. Let's go back and look all the way over here. Are we in the right place here? Hold on here. Trying to give you guys some context here. Now, I'm on the way past where I'm supposed to be. Hold on here. Right in here. And what's important about this is that when you're in a trend, and you're coming into, and more importantly here is this is, let me get this over here. So this is the quarter end of, back here, this right here. This is the 31st of the Q1 of 2025. And you can see the attempt to break out and up, right, into this quarter end. And this violence back in a trend to the upside. And oftentimes you can see that today is the 25th. And this is right about here. Right in here. We still haven't broken, if you were to inverse this chart, we still haven't broken underneath the trend and then whipsawed out, in our case, in this case, underneath trend, right, lower. And you need to be able to do that with conviction, or with not just conviction, but you need to break away enough heading into quarter end so you can change course. If not, you get sucked back in. And this would be October here. And the only reason I want to show you the importance of this is, and what these guys are saying is, JPM's like, keep buying the dip, keep buying the dip, keep buying the dip. And they're saying that because if the market doesn't get far away, enough away from trend, we can't change trend to go down. Okay, and when you can't do that, what happens is they whipsaw you back in, and you're back in trend again with this monstrous upside move. Now, further on this, this is the second month of the second quarter of Q2. So they try to escape, right? They can't, with like literally price far enough away from trend that you get sucked back in, slammed in here. And there's some other information in here that's important too, which is once we were able to break away, it was still a bunch of violence in here. And we still had to back test to break out and away to that downside move. And it's not indicative of what's going to take place here. It's exemplifying this price action that takes place whenever we come into a quarter end, or if we're on trend for a long period of time, the following months thereafter, after that trend, if we're unable to do what we need to do, or what the market needs to do. So my point there is just to come back over here. We've been on trend for fucking ever, right? Up. And you even exhibit at this point some buyer, I wouldn't say buyer weakness, just tired, being tired as a buyer, right? Chase. Give me a pullback. Oh my God, I'm way up here. I gotta wait. Okay, we got to pull back finally, right? And you're like, it's like boom, buy the dip. And there's a couple things here we got to look for. So we got to look at a couple of these things here. So let me just put that back down here. So if we're in the inverse here, right, heading into a quarter end, these guys are this would be the opposite, right? So they're going to try to get us down as early as possible. And if they can't, it's up, right? And they can also still whipsaw us up here, even into this quarter end, to get us down here into like the third or fifth. I would still be concerned that we're not going to, like, literally, I know that sounds crazy, but that we could like wake up tomorrow like this. I'm not kidding you. Like, you'll see these violent moves. They're very indicative of like the last day of the month, the last day of the quarter. And this same price action, if let's say we bleed down here, right? We don't get far enough away, they'll whipsaw us back up here again into October, and we'll exhibit this same violence again in like middle of October. So there's nothing here that is that you should say, oh wow, I didn't expect this or didn't expect that. And if you remember on Monday, if you remember in Monday's show, I was like, let's keep looking for on Monday's show when we're coming in here. I was like, just make sure we're not going to roll down, but clear out this Thursday and this Friday, Thursday, just in particular, just these two. Forget this one. Just Thursday, Friday before going up. And clear this one out, clear this one out, clear this one out first. Like, let's go down here, clear these out, and then we'll start talking about this over here. We didn't do that. We squeezed for liquidity, right? Then it finally came down. We clean out the Thursday, Friday, and even when we cleaned out this one, we still have not cleaned out this fucking whole last week, this big wick. These wicks are what this damage that's done on these wicks is massive buying. When you see these wicks on the top, the same thing as these big red wicks on top instead of green, that's scary as fuck, right? It's telling you that there's a bunch of sell side coming in to send us to the downside. So the same thing remains even now. Like even today where we are today, I don't fucking trust for a minute that these buyers have gone. Even with the price action this morning and the price action here, these are all these same fucking buyers. You can look at them right here. These are the Thursday buyers right here. I always like to flush these out, right? You flush out these Thursday early buyers for next week, which is now this week, and that's usually your Thursday, Friday crowd. But even this big one right here, see this gang of buyers right here. This was 56 million in volume. 56 million. 56 million in volume on this one right here. This candle right here. And even right where we are right here, it's the same bullshit. So like when they're saying like buyers aren't here anymore or we're going to crash or anything, these guys are buying all this shit up here. You can see them right here. They bought this one. This is the first one that I bought right here because I knew they were there. And these fucking guys right here, they came right in again. They bought that one right there. And here's this big green candle right here again. The same fucking group, same assholes in here buying all this shit. So it's not that we can't roll down here further or come down or whipsaw, right? Or rebalancing. Apple at the end of the day today was what? Up. What was Apple up today? I think Apple was up end of the day like 1.5%, 2% or something like that. So I'm seeing the rebalancing going on. That's all normal. But to think for a minute that the buyers are no longer here or the sellers have taken over, or in this like or trend change, you can't discount this yet. And to further proof that would just be to go back to that same time period over here. In that, you think you're fine as a bull over here. Hey, we're out of here. And it's like, fuck you, buddy. And when you do that, it's like, it totally devastates you. And that goes on here. This would be the inverse in this case, right? So just be aware of that as we move forward. The other thing, too, is you can also see these like big giant swings in here. These are violent moves to even break out in a way. So the same thing applies, not so much, not as bad for bulls. Market does go up and to the right. But just remember, you're still in trend here, and if you're sell side, you need to get, it's not good enough to even be down here. That's not good enough. They'll run you back up. You have to like get down underneath there, get down in here, and then back test it again, believe it or not, to make that big downside move. So otherwise, the rest of this is just mechanics heading into the end of the quarter. Now, I did say I would be risk off heading into this time period in here, the 30th to the 3rd. And I think JPM still says keep buying the dip. Keep buying it, keep buying it. I'll read it at the end of this to you one more time. The last two sessions have seen SPX fall later in the session alongside higher bond yields. That's not true. They're dumping it now because they can't. They're now dumping in pre-market. You can see they're dumping it in here because they can't get price down where they need to in cash market. So no one's selling. No one's buying. They're buying when it gets deep enough, but they're not selling either. So we have seen the SPX fall later in the session alongside higher bond yields. This has led to client conversations questioning whether we are seeing some later than expected negative seasonality, and or if this is an early start on the period end rebalancing, which is thought to see a selling of equities and buying of bonds. Given the later high touch volumes, it feels like a bit like investors are waiting to see if there is a vol spike into month end, with some indicating that they will wait for volumes to pick up before executing portfolio changes. Yeah, the volume spike happened already. Happened right here, 56 million. They already bought. They've been sitting here parked here. 56 million is pretty fucking big for end of quarter. So they're holding this market up to some extent. Given the high touch volumes, it seems like a bit like investors are waiting to see if there is a vol spike in a month end. Some indicating they'll be waiting for volumes to pick up before executing portfolio changes. Now, that last part is pretty key here, too. Portfolio changes. I don't think that I would ever make a portfolio change until maybe closer to the 15th of the new quarter. So normally after a quarter end, you'll wait for the first week or so to show you the way. And the reason why you make that that idiom or that statement is because if we start blasting down enough into this new quarter, I'm not buying that. I wouldn't buy that. I'd be waiting for some kind of a major trigger, like a weekly or a monthly or something over here to buy that. If we're like whipsawing up here and back up again, you're chasing immediately. Like by the third or fifth, you're like chasing this run higher. Instead of looking for that dip to buy, you're just chasing at this point for that whipsaw action that's going to take place, that potentially can take place. In some cases, the rebalancings occur 2 to 3 days before period ends, which would be Friday through Monday. We oftentimes still see in these quarter ends heading into the actual roll, the contract roll, the JPM contract roll, this violent move higher. And I want to point something out to you here about this, because we're above the JPM collar currently. And what that has looked like in the past coming into a quarter end. I want to show you that chart here in just a minute. In some cases, rebalancing occurs 2 to 3 days before the period ends, which would be Friday through Monday. Could we be setting up for a 1% downdraft? Maybe. That downdraft's not so bad. So the JPM's saying, yeah, maybe we'll get that downdraft in here, or maybe it's a downdraft down here, but then literally back up here again, which is basically what JPM's saying here. We could be setting up for 1 to 2% downdraft, maybe. The SPX has seen 2 days since May 1st where the index lost at least 1.5%, highlighting the strength of the dip buyers. In any case, the near-term setup remains bullish, and we would buy any weakness. And I want to tell you one last part about this. If you're in our Discord, I'm post it right now in our Discord. I'm going to post Larry Williams year outlook. If you've never had it, I've got it here for you if you want it. I'm going to post in the Discord in the market chat right now. He's got the October 15th, the 12th or 15th being the, you ready for this? The strongest part of our entire year. The strongest part of our entire year is October 15th. This is not what you want to see if you're a bear, with October 15th being, right over here. The strongest part of our year is theoretically right here. And you got these guys over here, and these guys look like they're, for that end of year trade into December or February. So even when you get 1, 2, 3 days down, I wouldn't be, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And not only that, when you're positioning for that next trade for December and February, I do realize you want it to be as deep as you possibly can get it to make that trade. But this isn't even in it's not really not as bad as it looks like, or people would have you think. And I'd be more concerned with still waking up with that giant fucking move up here. These violent moves like this as we head into this 15th of October. Now, let's go look at a few other things here. Give me one more quick second here. Let's go to the trigger screen here. Let's go look at the JPM collar for a minute. We talked about this happening here, this down move, right? Before we get into the end of quarter. Hasn't happened, has it? We're above the collar, right? We popped it. Remember we talked about popping the collar? And we're above the collar right now. What I want you to see is, see this collar right here? Whenever we've paused this collar up here on prior, let's go back and look at some of these. I want you to look at this one right here. This one here, we came into quarter end and we went vertical. We left that shit behind like it was nobody's business. I also want to show you another one. But we were under the collar here. And then we have this one right here, where we failed to get above and rip away and above. And this looks more like this one, doesn't it? You see this here? This is coming into the end of the quarter. It's like slam, dump it, right? Dump it, dump it, dump it, dump it, dump it, dump it. Came back up again above this collar for a brief minute, and then it was a violent move down. And this is what a lot of what Scott talks about. When always talking about how we're going to crash into October, November. You see that there? So we are looking for some kind of an escape velocity here. Some kind of an escape velocity here to get up and out and away from here into October. And if we don't, and we fail to do that, let's say they pin us in here underneath, we start catching these new lows, we open the door for that violence rather than that big trade up into end of year. I think that's kind of what the fight is at this moment. The fight right now for me is, or not for me, but for this market is, where do we go from here? And where do we go into, more specifically, where do we go into quarter end? Let's take a look at that together. This is not showing. Oh, wait, it's taking a minute to load in. Hold on. It's just taking a minute for it to load up here. Hang tight while it loads up here. I'm going to have bourbon here. Cheers to all of you out there. Got like eight velocities on here. Everything okay? Oh no, I'm drinking bourbon. Oh no. I made myself a tea, and it curdled on me. It's almost like maybe the rapture's here for me. do not. Okay, so sorry, my wife's in my office in the background here. All right, so let's just take a look here at on a SPY on a daily basis here. Starting to get a little bit of a roll here on weekly, but still not too bad. This is a little high here. Monthly accumulation is a little high, but we have seen prior examples. 2018 we go higher. We've seen much higher, or not? Yeah, we've seen a little bit higher here in 2021. 2018 we have a little bit higher here. It's still concerning though. I do think a top is nearby, like a real top. It's either now into October, November, or it's like or it's in the period of. I get the bigger question is like, is it October, November at the top, or is it December, February? It's somewhere in there. Larry Williams has it in December, I think. This seems to agree with that. That it's a real top in a real true market top in like December, February, in that time period. There are ways to keep the market alive. If you want to see like an extended bull market for the next year or two, I've heard that argument put out there too. There are ways to keep it alive. You'd still have to have a crash though. It'd be more like the late 90s or 2017, 18, 19, where you have a crash, but you go violent high. We had like a mini version of the late 90s and 17, 18, 19. But we're close. Daily velocity is still good. It's coming down right now on a daily basis, but it's still fine right now. It's still supportive. This weekly still looks good. Now, the bigger question, I think, is more price action. When you look at that stuff, if you go to a 30-minute basis here, let's check it right here. On a 30-minute basis, they've been buying the dips on the 15, on the half an hour. They've been buying it steadily. You can see that they're buying this. They're buying the half. That's all good. They're buying this. We're not getting the price higher, but they are buying it. They're buying the half hour. And they're buying the hourly. Hourly is being bought right now. This is going, the daily velocity is going down, but this is supportive. In no way is this showing that this isn't supportive. If this wasn't supportive, if daily velo was down here, you'd see like instead of the organized instead of the what you'd call like instead of like the elevator down, we're getting the escalator down, right? Nice and managed. If we were down here, it'd be fucking boom, boom, dropping down in price. So the market's overall kind of supportive here. And if we get a time correction, which is like a flat correction in the middle of October, we're going to go higher, is the point that I'm trying to make to you. And if we come into that, if you know anything about what Larry Williams does, he says he doesn't care about price. He cares about, which is the same thing we practice here, which is we don't care about price so much as we care about is the market supportive at the time that we're going high or about to go higher? Cyclically, are we going higher at that point? Regardless if price is here, it doesn't matter. Or price could be up here, and if the market becomes supportive, we're going up. So you don't really care about price. You care like a Walter Deemer kind of thing. You care more about cycles coming in to push the market higher, and regardless of price. So if you look right here, we're still, in these fucking guys right here. These fucking guys were last week. This was Wednesday of last week. Fucking huge, huge volume in this candle right here. Just one candle was 56 million buyers, and they're still fucking here. Still like eating this stuff. I don't know who they are. I don't think this is retailers. I don't think it is. I'm assuming this is hedge funds, long short funds trying to get some exposure into end of year, and they're buying this market, supporting it. That's what I think who I think it is. So let's go take a peek here at a few different time frames. Go back to this. Let's go back a few. Let's get a bigger frame here. We're gonna look at a 3-month candle, and this is the prior quarter here. And this is let's pretend right now. Say this is the top. We're not gonna do another all-time high until quarter end. And we're gonna look just at this quarter candle right here together. This is 7.92%. Tight here. I gotta do some math there in the background. I gotta do some stuff that I don't ever do in the show with you guys. Right about there. We can take all that right there. So we can take, not that we, theoretically, we can take all of this. Theoretically, in Q4, we can go all the way down to 624.91 and still be bullish on Q4. I don't think that we're going to take that whole thing, but we can take that whole thing. Well, I'll mark that in here. Well, if you want to snip this or whatever. Can take 624.91 and still be higher than ATH, current ATH. At the end, Q4. Put that right over there. I don't think we trade 624, but you theoretically you can. Theoretically, you can run price all the way down here and fucking smash to the upside. That's a monster move. We'll keep that there. Just keep this in mind here. Get rid of this. And that would be in Q. That would be in this candle right here. So this next candle in Q4. This next candle theoretically go all the way down here, wham, and still go higher. There. Theoretically. Now there are some other problems here. Hold on here. Go back. Damn it. I pressed CE instead of CER. There, guys. No. We're about there. Now, 20% of this candle here, this quarterly candle, puts us at 655.88. So this is 20% of prior. Roughly right about there. Saying that, not exact. This probably doesn't have to be. We're going to do something else here too. Yeah, my numbers are a little bit off because there is a little tiny wick down there. It's it's close enough for now for what we're doing. Okay. Whole bunch more information. Now this month right here, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they got us there. They got us right here. That's 1.023. It should be 1.023. So that's bad. This is the monthly candle for this month. We don't want to lose 640. Is that 716? We haven't opened it up though yet. Me back here. I already know what those are. Yeah, that's way down there. There's the 3-month way down here. It's 540, 550. There's your other big sweep down here. Looks like we've opened this one up. This weekly is definitely opened up here. Doesn't really matter unless we get there. Back to the month really quick here. These are both viable right now. pretty bad right here, this one. This is a door closing right here. That's a door closing right there, it looks like. All this opens up. And this door is now open to go down here, just that wick right here. This door was open too. If you remember last week, I told you that this plunge opened that door. This one does too. It's high, but it's still open. There's no guarantee we trade this as of yet. But they did reopen the door today. The door was opened here, pushed up, we closed the door, and then we opened it again. Even with this dip by here. I would just leave this here. I wouldn't even worry about this. This is all you're concerned about is this one right here. If this fails right here, if 660.13 fails, we're going down here for sure. That's your next target right there. If we fail this, it's definitely next target. Check this really quick. There's a couple other like key. We can go back to this day over here if you wanted. But they already hit it right here. You can see they hit this daily already. They hit that daily already. So I don't consider these to be as important, maybe. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Just see what would happen here if we lose this here. It's the same group right here. You see the same group? Push, push, right? Push, push. They pushed it up here. This is all Wednesday right here. You see this whole like cluster here? Like this whole group right here, right? The moment they push this up, it's like back down, up again, right? Back down, up again. Let's go back to the, I just want to check this one more time. Yeah, you gotta, like, I would say this is like the fucking OK Corral right here. This is bad. Like, so you can just kind of look at it with me here. You can see they took the swing at it here. I think I told you that they opened the door lower here. It doesn't mean we have to go down there, but they did. They opened the door, but then we brought it back up, right? Closed the door again, did it again in here. Open the door again, and they're trying to like break through this, these buyers here. It's still not open. I'll tell you right now, it's not open. I mean, it's open, but still need this follow through. Back to a 4 hour here. all in all, it looks like this. This is what it looks like. And the same thing, though, happened over here. When we slipped over here, when we slipped down here, this door was open too to go down. Right when this happened, before we have any of these candles over here, get the point I'm trying to say. I'm back up here. Nope, sorry, buddy. It's not what we're going to do. If we get that again, sorry, buddy, back up again. So we're at this like place again. It doesn't mean you can take a trade here. It means that this is the most probable outcome. This downside move, just like this one, is the most probable outcome. But you wake up tomorrow, and you wake up tomorrow with a gap up. And it's the same bullshit fake out. This would be like this right here. Same bullshit fake out again. And then you've got the hourly. Again, we're above it finally, right? And you're, again, trading that upside move. So, it's kind of a tough place. Because with the problem for me, my biggest problem here is that this fucking group of buyers over here have not left. They have not fucking left. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This fucking group of buyers here is a problem for sellers. And they kept buying this. They bought this here. The same group bought it here. They were here. They were on Friday. They were here. They were here again. And they were here again today. They're not gone. It's like every time you think that they're going to allow us to drop in here, they're not. And as a matter of fact, let me go look at Apple really quick. I'm looking at this shit right here, and I'm like, okay, so we're going to sell the market here? Then what the fuck is this? You can't sell the market with Apple being up like this. I mean, fucking Apple traded all-time highs on fucking Monday, right? So this tells you that they haven't left. This is not hard. This is not fucking rocket science. This is Apple, by the way. That is not indicative of the market selling off. S&P 500 is S&P 500 is faking us out. That's all this bullshit is this looks like just better pricing. If Apple was, if we weren't coming in like quarter end, and I'm like seeing this fucking if we're in quarter end like any other time of the month or a year or a quarter, I'd be like, oh, we're going down right here. And the same thing was prevalent over here too. We opened the door to go down, even with the recovery. We went down here like this. There should have been a door closed, and then wham, get the new close, and we're rolling. And same thing is right fucking here. It's goddamn same fucking thing. So if you're a bear, my thing to you is still the same. Is you got to be fucking careful because, and I think it's still here to go higher. It's still there. It's still there to go higher too. It sucks to say it, but give me a second here. A little closer. And I think none of this matters either. I think that all this is bullshit too. It all looks like fake price. It really does. It doesn't look like selling. yet, or like they're ready to sell or give it up. They keep blaming retailers for this, but this might be the door shut. This could be the door shut. I haven't seen one of these daily candles like this in a while. That's good for a sell side, but we'll chew through this stuff if we can't get the unwind on the quarter end. I see. I get the idea of this, right? You get us down here, and then you get the quarterly. If you can keep us down enough and get the quarterly roll, and even with the squeeze on quarterly roll, you get the impact of the hedging that flows to take us below where we need to go. I get it. I get the impetus behind this. But I mean, I get that there's, and the other thing too here is you got to remember that there's different forces in the market. You got one big bank that wants this to happen, and one big bank that wants that to happen. But this fucking big bank, whoever the fuck this is, they're still in charge here. These fucking guys haven't fucking left a goddamn thing. Look at them. They haven't left a fucking thing. Since last Wednesday. They're here. I mean, they were here, they're here, right? They got the big eye. And there's something else here too, which is important, which is we never hit the 7,000 on SPX. So theoretically, let me show you an example of what last time this happened, okay? Right here. This was on August 1st. This was a month quarterly or a not a quarterly but a monthly OPEX. This is why I like seeing these new highs. So this was no, this is the wrong one. Hold on, it's a better one. So we're doing yeah, right here. Hold on. Right in here. Hold on, wrong one. Is it the 50s? Yeah, you can see that tick. See that tick right there? That's the we're going higher. 40s right in here. You can see the like I'm looking at these right here, like the 40s. See the let me just draw this in for you. Show you what I'm looking at. So you see this right here? So we failed to get the 640 here. So you're like, oh well, I would have preferred that we hit this so we could not just pull back but correct. We missed it by a tick. So they ran it back down on us, right? Thinking, oh man, we're gonna start this correction, and it's like, nope, fuck you, no, wham, right up there. Finally hit the 40s, and then we start trading the 40s, and it's like it's almost like a fake out. So you get the 70s here. These aren't all exact if you go in like SPX and stuff. SPX hit like grazed 669, 99, but not the 670. And these buyers still being here, I think that is still very possible. And this comes up here. I would have preferred like the clean touch. Just a wick, and then bam, 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 down to the weekly. Because it just tells everybody, oh, don't worry, we're going to go down here and do what we need to do. This is more bullish than it looks. It looks like sell everything. and like it's almost like you got another bank or some fucking street out here trying to pull the gotcha moment, and they're relying. Their entire plan is on sell as much as they possibly fucking can into quarter end. I think it's bullshit. I don't think it's going to work for them. Maybe it will. I don't think that it will, though. It's like all they got going for them, maybe. Make sure I get this right here. You have not gotten rid of these fucking buyers. Give me a second here. I got a fucking problem with this 670. I got a real fucking problem with it. I really do. Like, this all looks like noise to me. And if that's noise, I still got this going on for the first. Where's the 30th? I don't give a fuck what they say. Like, where's Friday? Like, I mean, like, we should go vertical here. $30th, 1600 and 30th. Still ain't buying it. Even this 50 I don't buy. I like maybe down here afterwards. Still need to break 60. Come back and clean that up and then up again. Excuse me. Sorry here. Like, I mean fucking violence. Like, this shit's looking to go. I don't know why that is not showing up, but see that? Like, see this right here? Like, push price all you want, but they're like eating this up right here. If you ask me, it's like I don't give a fuck what they did here. Like, I'm pissy that we didn't just hit this thing. Like, literally, if we had just hit this fucking thing right here, we would have went bang and fucking violence. It's like this still looms. I still like. I'll put it to you. Let me put it to you another way. I get the concept and the idea here. Let me just let's get rid of this for now. I get the thesis here, right? Bro, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it. I can guarantee it's some fucking stupid motherfucker from a fund or from some stupid. I mean, and JPM is saying the same thing. Up. Somebody out there seems to think that if they can get us into 1600 here. This is gonna piss people off. I'm gonna stick with this too. So this is the 30th at 1600. I gotta tell you guys something. Move this over here for a minute, okay? I don't fucking want to hear. I don't fucking want to hear anybody saying like, we're crashing here. Like I fucking, or not crashing, like correction or anything like that. Like I need to see these fucking buyers taken out. And until these fucks are out of here, we're at risk. We've been at risk the past 3 days of trading this. So you can drag the market down, drag me to hell with COVID. So I wonder if it's because I'm not. I was gonna make a joke that our community is probably the one that was holding this fucking thing up, but I think we're at risk of trading this at any moment. So unless you flush these fucks out over here, way is higher. I know I suck saying this. I don't care if it's the 30th. I don't care if it's Friday, 1600. I don't care if it's here on the 30th. Way is higher. I realize that we can still go down here. You could theoretically take this out to get there, but I don't think so. I think even if you're going to take this out, I think it's going to be over here. Maybe this will help. You can see the market trying to offer this up here. They want this bad, and it's not to go higher. So they're not telling you that they want the market to go here so it'll go up. They want it so that it stops and goes down. They want to break through this here and take us down. So, with this fucker not taken out yet, I don't see it. So for where we are in price, even up here and up here, I'm not buying it. So I don't think that you should either. I think that you should still be looking for this move higher. And unless you see something like this, and I wouldn't be buying any fucking bullshit artist out there that's telling you like, oh, bro, if we just go down here, it's going to go up. I don't believe that. I think this is the function to go lower. Once you're able to break through these buyers here, this whole group over here, and I would be very scared of going higher. So if we break down over here into quarterly roll, I'd be like, yeah, maybe you'll get this maybe get the squeeze up on the 0 dates, but I'd be looking lower. Unlock that shit, and then we start going down. And there's a ton of time to go down over here. I haven't gone that far. There's like a lot of time to do this trade. So there's like, bro, we're going down here, bro. And I'm like, nah, it's still not there, man. Like, I'd rather see you guys touch, or I'd rather see SPX touch that 7,000. To give the opportunity for us to come down here and do this trade. So it's the same trade. It's like this. the same nonsense trade. So now it's here. It still needs to go up there. So, that's all I'm seeing right now. It's this group of buyers here. And JPM's saying that the same. I'd be more fearful of let's say we squeeze this, right? I'd be way more fucking fearful of the down move. Like this big down move over here. And this door opening afterwards. So the only thing that I'm seeing right now is just stretching price. That's it. This is, for me, this is all fucking fake. Fugazi. Way is still higher. You can disagree with that, but I don't like that this is all mechanical selling here. I don't like that they're buying the dip here. I don't like that they're buying the dip here. I don't like they're buying the fucking dip here. I'm looking at this from the sell side, like none of this is inductive or inducive of we're exiting the market for a big crash. Or even a big correction of some kind. The correction right now stands at currently stands at 617.45. It's at 617.45. You got another thing over here at 639 you got to be careful of. There's a whole nother group of buyers over here you got to bust through. And that means you got to get down into, means you got to get underneath this here. And then this is a big block of fucking buyers here. I mean, it's not going to be that fucking easy breaking through this stuff to even get down here. I mean, we're all focused on this, right? This group of buyers, and it's like, just look at this group right here. This group's not fucking around. Like, boom, boom. Look at this right here. Look at this on a weekly basis. Maybe there's some bad news or something that could change sentiment. But just look at this. This group right here is stacked. That group right there is stacked. This group right here is stacked. And we want to open the doors, or some of you out there want to open the doors to like 617. Take all this shit out down here. There's 615, 590. Like they're stacked right here. They're stacked right here. This group's not stacked, but they're still here. They're still fucking here. On a weekly fucking basis, they're right here. You got like 3 groups you got to break through. That's no joke. 651, 643, 635. I know where people want it to go, or the sell side wants to go. They want that big ass bloodbath, right? There's the weekly trigger right there. There's a monthly swing low. I ain't seen it. I'm not saying we can't do it. I'm just saying that I ain't seeing it right now. This looks like a big fucking fake out to me. Looks like bullshit. Fugazi. Your weekly fucking low is on the fucking, your weekly is on the daily trigger. Look at that big green fucking candle, dude. That wick. They're just buying the fuck. Like, look at this. See this wick right here? Look at this with me. Like, do you see this? We're on a daily basis here, right? Look at this fucking green candle right here. Last one of those he put in, right? You want to see what happened last one of those he put in? Okay, there's one right there. Fucking up. There's one right there. Fucking up. These things never end. Like there's one right here. A little bit of back test, but up. A daily candle right here. That's not a bearish candle. And you can see we took almost all of it. Right there, there, and there. It's a fucking fake out. That's what it is. It can be productive, but it's not productive yet for sellers. This looks like give me a better price. And they're stacking them up again. Look at them right there. Week, day. 4 hour. And this is bullish. I mean, I see the downside here, but this is what, fucking 3 days of Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's it. That's all they got. On here. Yeah, it doesn't matter either. That's all you got right there. Even this top tick right here doesn't mean jack shit. Make that one yellow. That's just looking to go higher. You just want that one to get the fucking new all-time high. Normally when we sell the news, it's like, it's quicker. It's like big red fucking bars. These aren't big red bars. These are like controlled price coming down. Fake price action is what I call it usually. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say here. They're here. They've always been here. They've been here since last week on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, I wanted to see that get cleaned out. We did that. We did that on there's Tuesday. We cleaned out Thursday, and it took for us took for us until Wednesday to clean out Friday. They came down here into Wednesday of last week today, and of course it got bought. We had no new low on that Wednesday over there. And I realized they need to get underneath here to make this go to party town, beer town. That shit still ain't happened. So, in my view, unless they can get down there, I don't believe any of this price action. And I'm with JPM on this. Where's the 30th? It's 30th close right there. Even with this low. Still think the way is higher here. Show me 70 and I'll tell you fucking we're selling. Show me 70 and I'm going to tell you we're selling up there, or 72. 70, 72, I don't care. That or that. Make that one red. Start with the 70, but I think it's 72. know that sounds crazy, but it's still sitting there. So we can talk more about Beartown when we get there, but I think this is a big bear trap in here. And even in here, like they missed it. So they missed when you miss this shit, when you miss, like, see this right here, when you miss that high, you got to remember that people had their calls, they were rolling up here above the 40s. When you miss that shit, they bring it down here and they make you think like bad things are gonna happen, and they don't, and it's not. Just fuck you up, back test up. So way is higher, and you can stretch price all you want. The way is higher. And you can show me this blood if you want. You can shank this down all you want. Way is still up there. If you want to roll the market down like or with like a real true correction or whatever, I ain't believing it. And for right here, where we are right here on this one right here, I don't think we even need to go down here. I think I'm assuming that some of you guys think like, well, one more down here cap, then we go up. Not because of the quarter. I'm saying no to it. Sure, some of you guys think like this. Like there's an escape in here. I don't believe that at all. And I'm going to tell you why, because the quarter end. I showed you already. Like, oh, cap, if we just do this, no, fuckheads. You want to do that to go up. In reality, you want to do that to go down. I see the price action to do that. There'll be no surprise. We're not going to fuck with this until we get there. So, up. You know, it makes you stinky butt. Up is the way. This sucks. No, don't get me wrong. This sucks. This is why I put because I got COVID, but of course because the drag me to hell also means like they're trying to drag us to hell, right? We're gonna do it. If you're south side, be real careful. I don't see it yet. Still don't see it. I see the gotcha moment. Like I see the gotcha moment. Like I get this here. That's to send us down here. If we weren't in like quarterly expiration, I would say. If we weren't in quarterly expiration, I would say take us all the way down here. For like month end or something, I'd be like, yeah, take us all the way down here. Let's go party. I'd say that's on the table. But I don't think for a minute that there'd ever be a buyer over here of that size that's thinking we're going to roll. These fucks are buying because they think we're going up. There is a problem here. If we do this upside move, there's some garbage in here. If we do the upside move, there's some real garbage. There's some like where's the 15th? Shit, hold on. Nope. The third. There's the third on Friday. Yeah. There's your real chance at an unwind right there. The 15th. But even so, those same fucking buyers. I feel like they're closing off these fucking buyers in here. I mean, not the buyers, the sellers. That's when you trade your 80 right there. There's the 31st. There's your next chance to sell it down in November. Right down in there. Right down there. It's even higher. Rampo fucking Rama. I ain't believing him. That's what I've got for you guys. Even with these two down moves over here, this is all mechanical to me. I don't trust these fucking buyers at all. I don't trust them from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For me to get bared up here, I still need to see. I still need to see this break in here, and even with that break, this whole band of buyers over here, and this fucking band right here, this whole cluster over here. Figured maybe with this big down day that you'd want me to come on and talk to you about this, but I ain't fucking seeing it. Is there anybody that sees anything other than me? I think you might still get that good big dip buy in the middle of October, but I think this group is like JPM. And I think that they don't give a fuck if we come back down in the middle of October. And that would be very, very weird. I'd be very like, I wouldn't be buying this at all. There was another example of this too in 2023, I think. And it was 2023 or last year. We had a potential spot up, vol up. We traded down to the daily trigger, and we were calling like the first one I think was in 2023. We had like a spot up, vol up in August, and we shanked down into the weekly trigger. And I think that's what they're promising here with this spot up, vol up bullshit. Is like so I think that like I think the promise here is here we got the spot up, vol up. We go up here, we'll crash down here, right? We had a situation like that in August of 2023, and then I think it was this past year in 24. I could be wrong here. I posted on Twitter. I don't remember off the top of my head, but what we ended up doing was we did some bullshit like this. Came down here in the middle of the month, started going higher, and they were like, "Oops, sorry, bro. Your spot up, vol up down here trade is gone. We reset the volatility just enough that we can go higher now." And this group here, I got a fucking problem with this group. I got a fucking problem with this group from Thursday, Friday. I thought this group would push us up, and I was wrong, right? I'm like, yeah, we'll go up there and we'll do that. Well, no, I was right. I was wrong twice. I was like, yeah, let's go down here and clear out this Thursday, Friday, then go up here and do this. Instead, we went up, then came down to clear these guys out, and now we're clearing out the rest of these guys. But this trade is still the same. Like nothing has changed on this fucking trade. Like literally nothing has changed on this trade. So way is higher. Unless something fucking else changes, the fucking way is higher. And don't fucking believe these fucks at all. Don't fucking believe them. I'm with JPM on what they're saying here. I'm going to read it to you one more time before I close out the show here. The way is higher. And, this could go up like into Friday. You don't think so, but let me show you something here. So today is today's Thursday, right? Here's a Friday. No, that wrong one. I wanted to show you one more Friday. Right here. This one right here. Let me show you this fucker right here. Let me show you this fuck face right here. Look at this fucking guy. Look at this asshole right here. That's a Friday straight up. Ping. Now it's not quite month end, but there's one for you. There's a big fuck you. Looks similar, doesn't it? That looks similar. And then it's a big giant fuck you. So I'm going to tell you. I told you the 30th, but I would not be shocked if it went right there. Something stupid. I'm not kidding. They'll fuck around all they want, but this whole batch here, I'm assuming this is JPM. Someone's getting whoever this group is right here. Same group here. Same group here. Bought it there. They bought it there. They bought it there. They bought it right there. Don't talk to me about selling until that happens. When I start talking about fucking selling this market or whatever, right? You got to go down there. And your window of weakness bullshit, if they ramp you up here, have fucking fun with that in October, trying to sell that bullshit. That ain't happening either, more than likely. We're trading fucking 680 to 720 into the year. You ain't faking my ass out. I'll see you guys. You guys have any questions for me? Let me check the Discord really quick. I'm telling you, if you're on sell side, don't fucking buy this bullshit. It happens a lot. You'll see it. Like I mentioned it earlier. This price stretching. I mentioned it earlier this week. Mentioned it earlier this week. About price stretching, because when you see like the daily trigger rolling or not rolling, you'll see price stretch. Price when price runs away from trend. Yeah, we can come back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, but we're still in trend is the more important part. When you're losing let me explain it a better way. So see how close we are to the daily trigger here when we roll. We're like stalling. See that? And then like boom, we start breaking through, and then the daily trigger rolls with it. When we start stretching price, we tend to come back to it. But it's not indicative of it's not on its own, it's not indicative of bearishness. The daily trigger is still going vertical right now. I would need to see that roll. You know what I mean by that? Like, you need to see that roll to start getting bared up. So a more violent move like this feels more bearish, right? Oh my God, it's super bearish. Whereas here, this doesn't feel bearish, does it? But it is bearish because we're underneath the daily trigger. So like that stretching of price is not something to be concerned about. It doesn't mean anything. It can feel like it. Like, oh my God, we just came down this big drop. You know, it's horrible. So until we're underneath here, you can't really say that. And you didn't see how the daily trigger is flat and the daily trigger is vertical right here. It's not indicative of a roll. Stretching price to me is like fake. It's like bullshit. This is where real trend is right here. This is real price right here. So in my view, like the yellow line is actually real price. So I'm telling you guys, they're going to fuck your face up. We can't start talking about Beartown or rolling or any of that unless this happens. And the other thing too is a bunch of mechanics there. Like, you've got all these calls and shit that are above 6,700. Dealers aren't gonna print that shit. This is likely dealers. If I had to guess, this is dealers and profit taking. That's it. Profit taking and dealers has nothing to do with real money selling. These are real money fucking buyers right here. This is 56 million shares being bought. Now, that could be option buyers that are buying and the dealers are buying, so they have to cover those. So the option buyers take their money and run and come down. So then you got more option buying coming in the market. That means dealers have to buy all this again. And there's a bunch of different ways to read this, but they have not left is the point. And until they leave or still looking higher, everybody still thinks they're trading 680, 720. So real money selling is like you break these buyers over here. You put fear into them. Instead of looking higher and saying, oh, we're going to trade 680 and 720, I'm going to buy calls, or I'm going to buy the fucking stock and the fucking ETFs. You're changing, like, when people ask me, like, what do you consider to be real in the market? Because I believe in accumulation and distribution and not so much data. I believe in, like, fraud, and I believe in bad data hitting the tape that can change the thesis and outlook of traders, but sentiment means more to me. And the sentiment of these traders is still there. You can see it. So you kind of need to break their sentiment, you know, to get people to start, instead of hedging, to like start buying puts, start liquidating positions. Like, that's a whole different thing. So you can put hedging on, you can put a fucking collar on the market, all that kind of stuff, but that doesn't change the sentiment of the market. When the center of the market is up, and if they're taking their profit up here and they're buying more calls to go higher, or even the market to go higher, which they did back here too, right? Until that changes, this Fugazi is fake bullshit. So there could be a little bit of like risk-offish behavior, hedging behavior that's impacting this, but all in all, taken as a total, some rebalancing going on. But all in all, like, you got new flows coming in the market, you got the hedging coming in the market on the new roll. None of this is indicative of a crash yet, or even correction. And I'd be very fucking wary of it as a seller. I still think the risk is to the seller here. I thought the risk to the seller there. Risk is to the seller there. Even if it's staircasing down like this is still controlled. None of this is like panic to me. It doesn't remind me of being panic. So the way is higher, and I think it gets more dangerous the more we do this bullshit. the more danger there is to the seller in here, even in the quarter end. And I realize that you want the opportunity to get this to happen if you're on sell side, like, or hey, let's just put it down here so we can get that big move. But we don't have anything yet for that. I saw some other shit here about like Pete Hegseth is like I always say like bears assemble, like his admirals and generals assemble in Alabama or some shit. Like so they're gonna run all this. They're gonna run these news. You're gonna get these news. You're gonna get these news stories run on you. You know, Pete Hegseth is doing this, and Trump's got a big announcement, and tens and fucking 30s, and or tens and twos or whatever. I don't give a fuck what they're using right now, but the five week was really bad. Don't listen to that shit just yet. Where it really comes down to at some point is price action, and when you take all this away, right? You take I think I brought up one time. Fuck's his book. Anyways, I brought up this one guy one time. His name is I brought this one guy up one time. His name is Jack Schwager. That guy right there. And this guy, Jack Schwager, go over here. Close all this out. It's I'm removing everything. This is a weekly basis right here. Just candles. There was a moment. I think, in I don't know if it was 2022 or 2023 or something. There was a moment way back here where there was a big discussion going on about are we going to crash or some shit, and or have a major correction? It was like a double boner or something, like a double correction. It was a moment like this right here. It was a moment. It was like this moment, and there was like a lot of talk about a double boner correction. And Schwager was on an interview. The guy brought up a candlestick chart, and there was nothing on the chart. And he was like, you see this right here? He was like, you see that little wick right there? He was like, see how they weren't able to get down in there? He's like, you don't need to see anything. We're going up. It was a big ass bear trap. None of these candles are put in yet. And I think it was in here. It wasn't this specific chart, but it was something like it was something fucking like that. And like, damn it. Just show the fuck. It was something like that where all you could see was the green and the red candle, but they weren't able to sell it down. See that red wick on this candle right here? They weren't able to get where they needed to go. And the whole market was talking about it. And Schwager didn't look at anything. He was just like, see that weekly candle right there? He's like, they couldn't fucking sell it how they wanted to. And let me ask you this. What day is today? Thursday, right? Is today Thursday? Did I get the wrong day? I've been hallucinating fucking. It's Thursday. Let me show you that candle right there. This is the prior week. Today's Thursday. He had all fucking week to get us down there. all fucking week to break through this. You did your best. Okay, so where we are in price right now. Look at that. Look at that last week. And this might just tell the whole story for you. Right there. Right? This is the low. What is happening inside of the hair right now? You tell me what's happening in there. Is that a big red candle right there? Is this a big fucking red candle right here? The fuck is going on there? Why the fuck are we wicking? Why are we wicking right now on a Thursday? That's not what a roll looks like. Is that what a fucking roll looks like? They're fucking devouring that fucking candle right now. They're fucking buying it they're buying it like viciously right now. They're literally consuming it up like it's like there's like in the background just eating it. You know, on a Thursday today at this close today, I wanted to fucking be like down here, right? Drive a fucking stake through the heart of bulls on a Friday, right? Fuck you again. Close the door on a bull on opening next week. I mean, come on. That's all I got to show you. Here, put it right there. I'll just put this here. Last week. Thursday. You're going to rip your fucking faces off. That candle is not good for bears. Last week you had a high. This was your low from last week. This week you had a new weekly high. And no new you got it, weekly low. Four fucking sessions. I guess you can try tomorrow. You want to get below 650, 255 tomorrow. I don't see it. You want to go from today till tomorrow. You better hope and pray we go down almost a full percent tomorrow. That ain't looking good. That's a nice week. See that? It's a beautiful week. And we still went up. There's a lower weekly. There's one more lower weekly than up. There's a good one right here. You want to see a good one? Want to see a good one? I'll show you a fucking good one. All right. Pound this fucker down. Take almost the entire candle. We didn't do that yet. All right. Fuck you down. Fuck you down. That didn't happen here. It's not that. We didn't take almost that whole candle. Hell no. That's like, there's still 20% right there. Look at that. Still 20% of that candle sitting there. And price is up here. If we've not gotten down into this candle, if we haven't erased most of this candle yet, like if we haven't done this on Thursday, Like erase almost that whole candle. Friday down here. If we haven't erased that yet, close this week out. How do we roll next week? Like we're currently eating this candle right now on a Thursday. So you got one more day to do it. But this is not what a roll looks like on a weekly basis. Not yet, at least. You better do some smashing tomorrow. Better be a fucking bloodbath. I want to see, like, let's just measure this one more time. So between now and tomorrow, if you're in Beartown, you better be hoping for basically almost a full percentage point tomorrow. 0.82, you want to see us lose that tomorrow. Let's measure this week. Well, this week was up 1.18%. Let's check my calculator again here. This looks like stretching price, man. This looks like a fucking bear trap. In there. Yeah, door's open, but right about there. Hold on. Come on. You would need to be right about here tomorrow morning or tomorrow close. Okay, so I'll put it an easier way for you. You need to be under about let's just call it 655. Tomorrow closing price. Tomorrow closing price for the week. We would need to be below 655. That, and they're buying it. So, if they weren't buying it, like if today was Thursday and they weren't buying it all week, I would say, yeah, it looks good for Friday. But it's not. They're not. They are buying it. That's my point. Is that like, do you see the wick on a Thursday? This wick here is not good for bears. So, on a daily candle here. You need to close below this white line on Friday. And the problem for bears is they still got these buyers here. Problem with the fucking bears is these assholes here. They came back in, they bought this, they bought this, they bought this again. So, way is higher. Let's look at it on a the one thing the bears have is this candle right here. The one thing that they got going for them. This is it. This is all they got going for them right here. That's it. It's the only fucking thing they got going for them. And if we break above this price, matter of fact, you can see even today, see that wick right there? That wick was to keep you out. But we break above like 660 tomorrow, and bears are fucked. This is where the stops are right here. And stacked underneath them are a bunch of daily candles. It ain't looking good for bears. I'm telling you. This ain't looking, and if the way ain't down, where is it? It's up. It's up. This will be a big deal here for the Bears. It's a big deal. A big deal for Bears is 660.08. But a really big deal for Bears isn't even that. It's the closing low for the week. Where this week closes out matters to Bears. We're right back to the same area here, right? We already showed this earlier. So I don't see this closing out tomorrow. If you start to see this movement up higher here tomorrow, here's Friday at 1600. If you see between today and tomorrow this fucker get up here at all, you're gonna ram this shit. We'll start taking that stuff out over the weekend, and we'll start heading higher, hit the 672, 71 into the 30th. I'll give you guys a brief tonight. I'll write out a brief for you, but this is not what you want to see. You wanted to see, like, if it was real selling, you'd really want to see, like, the break of these buyers. Thursday, right? Close the door, let them have it here. But it doesn't really matter because you're rolling down into, like, Monday, Tuesday, and all that kind of stuff. You definitely don't want to see the buyers here, buyers here, buyers here. They're just accumulating all this shit. You guys could buy calls in the close today? I would have. This is a good buy down here. I'd be pissed if I was a seller and seeing that personally. I'd be pissed if I saw that wick right there, and I'd be pissed if I saw that wick right there. 8 a.m. would have been pissed. You wanted to see if they were gone, and they aren't. They're not gone yet. Where's the 30th? And I bet you by the 3rd, by that Friday. I don't think it's going to take that long. I think they're going to rip your fucking faces off, is what I think. I will say this, though. You don't have to buy calls here. You can wait to see if this happens to take the trade. The best part of the trade's right here. If we do get rolled down here, though, then I'll start going Team Bear. But we haven't closed at the week. I mean, you got to give the Bears like till the close tomorrow. But this is not a good look for Bears. Not a good look for Bears. Not a good look for Bears. You want to see like a big fat red fucking bar. You know, boom, bam. I think this one was done. I think some of this was done inside of a after hours for a pre-market or whatever. Way is higher unless they can get a new low down here. They got to break these fucks over here, whoever these assholes are. It's probably JPM. If I can get enough sleep tonight, I'll be on the show tomorrow to walk you through. I'm feeling a little bit better right now. I got up and around. The last 2 days I've been resting as much as I possibly can, so I don't have to go to the. I thought I might have to go to the hospital. I was pretty fearful. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my computer here, but I'll see you guys in the morning, and I'll write you a small brief here tonight. But this is not conducive to what sell side wants to see. Sell side, you gotta be really careful. And remember that thing I told you about this down here, this fucking Apple bullshit over here. You know, I want to see like all Mag 7 blasting down. I don't want to see the rotating. This is all rotation shit. And this is not inducive of we're cutting loose. Yeah, you guys have a wonderful night. I apologize for being so sick. I'll be honest with you guys. I try not to take a day off of streaming when we're on red, because I get people will be like, "Oh, it's because we're red." So I normally don't ever take. I'll like come on sick if we're red, because people will be like, "Oh yeah, that guy's doing it because I want you to know." Well, that's not what's going on. I feel fucking terrible that I'm not streaming with you guys on these red days. But my plan would have been the same: look for a dip to buy each day. And I think the same thing applies even today, on this close today. This is more mechanical to me than anything. So I'll see all you guys tomorrow at 9:30. I'll try to be awake in the morning. This morning I tried to wake up and I literally had like vertigo this morning. But just be chill, relax. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9:30, and I'll try to be up for it. I'm pregnant. I got like it's right here. I'll show it to you. You guys want to see it? I got COVID. I don't know if I can. I got COVID. I got it. It's pretty bad. All right. I'll see you guys. I should probably check to see if I still have it. I don't know if I have any more left. I gave two. I gave one to my each of my daughters. See if they still had it. I was gonna start keeping